Welcome to Holy Dove. My name is Christine, and I invite you to join me in exploring the many ways we can find God within ourselves, within others, and all around us. In this video, I'll be reading 3 excerpts taken from Electrons and the Elemental Kingdom, compiled from the teachings of The Bridge to Freedom by Werner Schroeder. A fascinating account from the Ascended Masters of life and the Elemental Kingdom. I'll leave a link to the book in the description below. The excerpts I chose were, to me, the best summary of the power of life within us all. I hope you enjoy it. Have you ever thought, in your seemingly arduous journey through the world of form, how much you are loved? From the moment you were called forth from the heart of the one God, love has sustained you. Love has created out of the electronic light body of God Himself the electronic form of your own I Am presence. Love has drawn forth for you the substance of the elemental kingdom, which has made up an emotional body by which you might feel the harmony, beauty, love, and every other good feeling which is that of nature. Love has fashioned from the elemental substance a mental form by which you can receive the ideas of the universal and fashion for yourself an individual world, peopling it according to free will. Love has drawn for you an etheric envelope into which you can and have recorded the experiences in the use of energy and vibration. Love has drawn the physical atoms of this world, creating the physical body which you wear and use so freely. All of this electronic light substance is intelligent, free life that chose to forego its happiness in the realms of perfection for the questionable opportunity of making garments for your souls and spirits. Love from the heart of the directors of the elements, the builders of form, the kingdom of nature, fashioned this planet, a platform upon which your feet might stand. Fresh water, the pristine air you breathe so freely, the glorious firmament with the blue sky of day and the star-studded mantle of God at night, to give you rest and opportunity to refresh yourselves in your journey through the world of form. From the kingdom of nature, love has drawn the tiny elemental forms and trained them to embody themselves in flower, tree, shrub, grass, and the very substance that, through nature, nourishes your physical garment and, by its beauty, stimulate your spiritual nature to remembrance of the glory you had with the Father even before this world was. It is through love that the angels are kept in the atmosphere of this earth, where pain and distress exist, when they might know the joy and happiness of the heavenly realms, where there is no distress or sorrow. The sustaining power of this outpouring and teaching is love. This is done that there may be upon earth centers where the sacred fire of creation is drawn and radiated into the emotional, mental, etheric, and physical strata, into which the masters and angels may come, and into which your weary souls may enter and find renewed vitality and spiritual enthusiasm. Within each one of you, dear children, is love, which responds to these words of mine, and, overcoming the pressure of your individual worlds, helps you to lift your thoughts and hearts to me. I am with you. I am loving you. Free will is yours, beloved. See only love, and see only the Christ in each other. Be assured that I see in you only that constant, shining light that beats your hearts. The smallest manifestation of life that can be measured by terms which man would understand is the electron. These electrons are the body of God. They are pure, universal light substance having intelligence within them that responds like lightning to the creative power of both God and man. These electrons, in varying forms, make up the atoms of the physical world. The geometrical design and the speed of action around the central core, as well as other factors, determine the particular type of atom, and many atoms vibrate at various rates, for instance, form the substance of iron or of steel or of gold or of flesh. The same universal light substance is within all manifest forms, but the creative power of the Godhead, the immortal, victorious threefold flame, the triple activity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, determines the vibratory action of the atom and also its geometrical design. Therefore, all physical substance is part of the universal light substance, and all is the body of God. All is fluidic, in constant motion, extremely sensitive and obedient to the God direction. It is evident, then, that so-called inanimate objects are moving constantly and pulsating with the breath of God, and can be commanded into greater perfection by the alert student. The student should consider to bless those inanimate objects which serve in his daily life. The physical body is more obedient and responds quicker than an inanimate object or substance because its vibratory rate is higher, and it is in constant contact with the creative power that flows through it from the heart. It is therefore an easy matter to mold the flesh into greater beauty and harmony. Anyone who will take the time will become a manifestation of the power of the Word of God over the substance of the physical body. Remember, each student is a God center. Universal light substance is his without limit to qualify and mold into form according to the specific requirement or the requirement of the brotherhood through unascended beings. The universal light substance, being intelligent, is very desirous of evolving to self-conscious creative powers of its own, and thus is eager to be magnetized by life streams who qualify it with beauty, perfection, and the consciousness of the ascended Christ. This is why it is impossible to keep from one who truly loves and truly desires to fill the universe with the divine plan a great abundance of wealth and supply, because he becomes a magnet, drawing the electrons of the universal light substance around him until he is almost bombarded with this opulent presence. Try it and see, beloved ones. The great immutable decrees, which forever keep order in the infinite realm of manifested life, are all based upon the one great principle of creation, love. That is the heart, the source of all, and the very hub upon which existence in form takes place. Love is the harmony, and without it in the beginning of a form, that form could not come into existence at all. Love is the cohesive power of the universe, and without it a universe could not be. In your scientific world, love expresses itself as the attractive force between the electrons. It is the directive intelligence which wills them into form, the power which keeps them rolling around a central core, and the breath within the core that draws them to it. The same thing is true of each vortex of force everywhere in creation. A central core and the electrons whirling around it form an atom. This core of love is to the atom what the magnetic pole is to the earth, and what the spine is to the human body. Without a central core or heart center, there is only the unformed universal light, the electrons filling infinity and whirling around the great central sun. The electron is pure spirit or light of God. It remains forever uncontaminated and perfect. It is eternally self-sustained, indestructible, self-luminous, and intelligent. It is immortal, ever pure, intelligent light energy, and the only real, true substance out of which everything in the universe is made, the eternally perfect life essence of God. Interstellar space is filled with this pure light essence. It is not dark and in chaos, as has been the ignorant, limited concept of puny human intellects. This great sea of universal light that exists everywhere throughout infinity is constantly being drawn into form and given a quality of one kind or another, according to the way the electrons are held around a central point or core by love. The number of electrons which combine with each other is a specific atom is the result of and determined by conscious thought. The rate at which they whirl around the central core is the result of and determined by feeling. The intensity of the drawing and whirling motion within the central core is the breath of God, and therefore the most concentrated activity of divine love. Speaking in scientific terms, it would be called centripetal force. These are the determining factors which make the quality of an atom. Thus, you will see the atom is an entity, a living, breathing thing, created or brought into existence by the breath, the love of God, through the will of self-conscious intelligence. In this way, the Word is made flesh. The machinery that self-conscious intelligence uses to accomplish this manifestation of its being is thought and feeling. Destructive thought and discordant feeling so rearrange the ratio and rate of speed of the electrons within the atom that the duration of the breath of God within the pole is changed. The duration of the breath is decreed by the will of the consciousness using that particular kind of atom. If that conscious directing will is withdrawn, the electrons lose their polarity and fly apart, seeking their way back, intelligently, mind you, to the great central sun, repolarizing themselves. There they receive love only. The breath of God is never ending, and order, the first law, is eternally maintained. Some scientists have claimed and taught the planets collide in space. No such thing is possible. To do so would be to throw the entire plan of creation into chaos. It really is fortunate indeed that the mighty laws of God are not limited to the opinions of some of the children of earth. It does not matter what any scientist thinks. God creation is ever moving forward and expressing more and more perfection. The constructive thought and harmonious feeling within a human mind and body are the activities of love and order. These permit the perfect ratio and speed of the electrons within the atom to remain permanent, and thus they stay polarized at their particular point in the universe. As long as the duration of the breath of God within their core is held steady by the will of the directing, self-conscious intelligence using the body in which they exist. In this way, the quality of perfection and maintenance of life in a human body is always under the conscious control of the will of the individual occupying it. The will of the individual is supreme over his temple, and even in cases of accident, no one leaves his body temple until he wills to do so. Very often pain in the body, fear, uncertainty, and many other things influence the personality to change its decisions concerning what it has willed in the past. But everything that happens to the body is and will always be under the control of the individual's free will. To understand this explanation concerning the electron and the conscious control the individual has through his thought and feeling to govern the atomic structure of his own body is to understand the one principle governing form throughout infinity. When man will make the effort to prove this to himself or within his own atomic flesh body, he will then proceed to master himself. When he has done that, all else in the universe is his willing co-worker to accomplish whatsoever he wills through love. Whoever makes himself willingly obedient unto the law of love has perfection in his mind and world permanently maintained. Unto him and him alone does all authority and mastery belong. He only has the right to rule because he has first learned to obey. When he has obtained obedience from the atomic structure within his own body and mind, all atomic structure outside of his mind and body will obey him also. Thus, each individual, through thought and feeling, has the power to rise to the highest or sink to the lowest. Each one alone determines his own pathway of experience. By conscious control of his attention as to what he allows his mind to accept, he can walk and talk with God face to face, or, looking away from God, become lower than the animals, sinking his human consciousness into oblivion. In the latter case, the God flame within him then withdraws from its human habitation. After eons of time, it tries a human journey once again into the world of physical matter until final victory is accomplished consciously and of its own free will.
Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard here, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. This helps the algorithm make this video available to more people. You can also hit that notification button to let you know when the next installment is ready. I hope to see you next time.